Hey, welcome to Between Frets, a space where female musicians meet and discuss all things music. And we have this bonus episode of FTT Talk. Yes, a bonus episode. It's so exciting. So we just wanted to bring this to you, kind of stick it in there, because we're shouting out a listener. All right, we got Nicole Rose, Shorn Marshall, and Autumn Rose in on this. So come on, let's go. We'll be right back.
Thank you for joining the Fret Sisters for another episode of FTT Talk. Sit back and enjoy.
Hello, guys. It's us again. And yay! And woohoo! This episode, we're actually responding back to a listener who DM'd us about our girl band topic, which I thought was really cool. So we want to shout out to Kenny and the Jets, who sent us a DM regarding current girl bands that are out on tour. Because if you have listened to our podcast, we mentioned some female bands, but we didn't know if there were any current ones. So thank you again to Kenny and the Jets to make us aware of these female acts that are out right now, and they're killing it. I mean, we actually went out there and listened to these groups, so we want to shout these groups out and try to get them to our podcast, right?
For sure.
You know? Yeah. So I'm just going to mention some, and we're going to put links to their website or whatever, their Instagram, whatever we can get. We'll put their links in there in our show notes so that you guys can check these out. So I'm just going to name them down, and then we could talk about a few of them.
Okay.
So we have Lalus. I hope I'm saying that right. Lalus, L-A, and then L-U-Z. We have Stonefield, Sesame, Black Belt Eagle Scout, Boy Toy, Sleater Kinney, Thelma and the Sleaze. I love that name.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Pinky, and the Heinz Band. For Pinky, they mentioned that they're amazing, and the lead singer is a drummer, which I thought was kind of cool. So anyway, I know some of us did some research. Any special ones that stood out? By the way, these guys are out. Yeah. They're out on YouTube. They're out on tour. Check them out. Okay.
I'm gonna mention, briefly, like Black Belt Eagle Scout.
Oh my God.
That's what I was gonna mention.
Okay, they're on tour in the Midwest and Canada, East Coast, and they're alternative indie rock. They're from the West Coast, originally Seattle and California. We have Laluz. I think that's how you.
Oh, okay, yeah, Laluz.
Yeah,
okay.
They're from LA, California. They have 3 albums. They're originally, again, Seattle, Washington. Surf music. And Shauna Cleveland's guitar, Lena Simon's bass. They're signed to Burger Records and Hardly Art. Pinky, garage band. And they released their last album, June of 2009. They're currently on tour in the UK. They're from California.
Nice.
Yeah. Cherry Glazer Band, that's Sesame. She plays French horn, vocals. She sings, of course, guitar, bass, rock. They're on tour in the Midwest now, again, from LA, California. Boy Toy. It's a trio band. They formed in 2014 from New York City, and they played rock and roll and surf. Then you have Sleater Kinney from Washington, West Coast, rock, punk rock, riot girl, indie rock. They're on tour right now, Canada and Midwest. And you have Lauren Gilbert, she's a guitar player for Thelma and the Squeeze Indie. Came out in 2010. They have several albums. They're Southern rock, and they're from Nashville, Tennessee. And they're signed to Dryer Baby and Last Hurrah and Burger Records as well. Let me just mention 2 others because these ladies are great. They're on tour. They're signed. They have Wikipedia online. As well as, I'm going to go to a couple that play jazz. There's Gail Johnson, who's a Jazz and Pink out of California, and these ladies play jazz, and they tour all over cruises, and they tour all over, but they play jazz. And for New York City, you have Kim Clark with her Lady Got Chops And these are women out of all over, but they're based in New York City. They play jazz. So I just did a little research briefly on a lot of these groups that are on tour and playing currently.
That is some great information, Autumn.
It really is.
I mean, what's so great about these bands is that they're very guitar heavy, which I love, of course. I mean, I do have to mention Black Belt Eagle Scout because they're the ones that really caught me, like really good music. I just love just everything about it, just the guitar work, the singing, flow, the style. I don't know what it is about them, but they really just kind of like resonated with me.
Yeah, I think Catherine Paul
The
is the
same.
lead of the Black Belt Eagle.
Who is that?
Catherine Paul.
Okay, I gotta look them up because when I heard them, it made me feel. I don't know what it made me feel, but it made me feel something that, like she said, like resonated. It stuck with me, and it's like that all indigenous band. That's the first time I've ever seen it. I'm sure there are a lot of them, but for an all indigenous girl band, that was really dope to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said they were on tour?
Yes, they are on tour. Again, they're from the West Coast, but they toured the Midwest. They toured the East Coast, Canada, and the Midwest. Currently on tour.
Yeah, a lot of these bands too, like they're very alternative, like you said, like indie and stuff, stuff that I hear on the radio. And I think I even mentioned in our last podcast where I said there's alternative bands out that are hitting the radio waves or Sirius XM, but you don't hear female bands, where these are perfect examples of these alternative indie rock type bands that are out there doing it like the guy bands that I hear on Alt Nation. And I'm like, this is a type of music, like definitely the type of music.
I think this is a suggestion that we, during the week that we post some of their music, their videos on our Fred Sisters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely give them props for that because they're awesome. Yes, they play strings, there's bass, guitar, and even one of the artists I mentioned, she plays French horn as well. A lot of them are classically trained, so they did go to school. They're all signed to albums. They're all on tour, and they have Wikipedia pages. So they've been out for a little while. They've been out for a few years, some 2010, 2014. They've been out for a while, and their tour, it's not like they're playing once in a while. They're touring constantly.
Yeah. Who was the one that you said that played the horn?
The French horn, I will give you Sasami. She's with
Sasami.
she's with the Cherry Glazer band. French horn, vocals, guitar, and bass. They're on tour, I said currently. They're from LA, the West Coast, and they play rock.
Yeah. I'm looking at a video right now, and she's got a French horn. That is the coolest.
Right.
Yeah. So we got to get these girls on the podcast. We got
definitely.
Any listeners out there that know these people, tell them the Fred Sisters want them.
By posting, we can get in touch with them directly. We can get in touch with each, the band once we post them, follow them, and get others to follow. I think it's great for us to do that because, I didn't know I knew that most of them would be rock. That I did mention that on the thread that I said most of these girl bands, majority would be rock. That's why I mentioned Jazz and Pink, because they play jazz. I want to look up other types of music other than rock and jazz, something else.
Yeah. We're going to be continuing this topic where we'll be talking about tribute bands. I think they're important too, because a lot of those players, move on and do big things too. So we definitely want to talk about that for our next topic is all the tribute bands that are out there. But anything else on these bands that you want to mention besides that they're kick ass?
I mean, anyone we didn't mention that we may have missed that others don't know about, if you listen to this, please tag yourself in the post or DM us. We'd definitely like to get to know your music and share it.
Definitely.
I'm gonna do more research for, and half of these bands are out of Cali or the Northeast or Washington State. And like I mentioned, one from Nashville. And these are the big cities, where you have more music, more bands. But I want to check out some of the women in the Midwest, Canada, Europe, and so on. And the Southeast, other than Nashville. I want to look at, all the states. There has to be bands just about every state in the U.S.
For sure.
Yeah, so I definitely want to shout out again Kenny and the Jets for
Thank you.
for pretty much turning us on to these great bands, and we'll put their Instagram on our show notes too, so you can follow them. Next time we'll talk about tribute bands. So again, if anybody has any bands that we missed or tribute bands you want us to talk about, then definitely put that in the comments. Awesome.
Hey, if you are a tribute band and you want to be on our podcast,
definitely. Yes. Please
There are many female tribute bands.
Yeah.
That play the music from the 70s and 80s and 90s. Those decades are big for rock bands.
All right, guys. Well, this was great.
Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
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 Love our FTT Talk? Make sure you follow us for our latest episode. And all you need is your favorite drink and grab a seat, because our FTT Talks will never miss a beat.